Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Well, welcome back to the Booga Box. It's Thursday, Large Project Thursday. We're starting on our next inlay. I've got the first 3 rows done. I went ahead and got that done. It's probably about an hour and 10 minutes of work earlier today. Finally got most everything cleaned up and ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and get right on into it tonight. It's going to be a little bit not quite as wide as the Mahomes. Mahomes was 109 rings wide, I believe. This one's 100 rings wide, so we're a little bit smaller on this one. But I'm also not going to say what it is yet, though I think some people might be able to figure it out somewhat quickly. We'll see how much we get done to it. I'm not going to say it this week, and maybe, well, probably not next week either, unless somebody guesses it during the stream by then. Otherwise, the 3rd week, it'll be far enough along where I think people will be able to figure it out. So, we're just going to go ahead and get on to it and keep going. These are my 3 main colors here, is frost, green, and red. So, first part here is just going to be a lot of frost for a little bit, until we get a little further down into it. But I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Hope your week's going well. Hopefully our stream tonight will go well. We, again, crapped out about 55 minutes in last night. Internet went out again. Came back on and restarted the stream again, but drives me a little nutty. Hopefully that doesn't happen again tonight. And on our Thursday nights, we'll be just going with this one camera view. None of the extras on it, unless I do extras at the beginning or the end, but I'm also recording it, like I do every stream anyway, but I'm recording everything. Every time I come over to work on this project, I'll turn on the camera and get it recording so I can do a time lapse after I'm done again. So at least that's the plan. Hopefully I don't forget. That'll be the biggest thing, remembering again. It's been a while since I've had to turn on the camera every time I come over to chainmail. But this will be what I work on most of the time outside of the stream, other than customer orders. For the most part, it's going to be this, and I might spend a little bit of time working on a few other little side projects that I've been that I'm trying to design up, get them all finalized and all that, so I might give a little bit of time to that too. But for the most part, this is what we're going to be doing. Oh, I got my little box popped up in my way. I had to move that out of the way. Otherwise I'll miss posts again. Don't want to do that. Especially with the way it's been working lately. It's good to see the posts. Quick look, everything's going well for now. Like I said, we'll see. Hopefully it does. I'm about a ring close to getting a different service provider, because they've just been driving me nuts here lately. It's like every time I start thinking that, everything starts working well for a little bit while longer. And then I get used to it working well, and then it goes to crap again. I got another message box popping open in front of me. Come on, move box. One thing I do hate about using the Facebook is, well, I guess I could go in and shut all those kind of notifications off while I'm streaming, but then I gotta turn them back on. It's such a pain in the butt. Maybe one day I'll use those restreaming places where I can stream to one place, get all my posts in one place, all my music in one place. I was trying to get the music going again tonight. It was giving me problems, so it's like, really? Again, hopefully that's something I am going to look at on the weekend, but it's going to be a pretty busy weekend. I probably won't get any chain mailing done. For the most part tomorrow, I might get a little bit done, or if I get an order, I'll try to work on that, but got the band stuff all weekend, so that'll keep me busy. Till Saturday night. Well, I mean, pretty much all Saturday, because I'm leaving at about 10, and I probably won't get back till about 10. So, it'll be a full Saturday. I did a 3 again. I've gotten so used to doing the last inlay, or the checkerboard, and it was 6 in 1. Now I'm wanting to do 6 in 1 in this, and that ain't gonna work. Yeah, my phone's ringing, but you're gonna have to wait. I'm streaming. Whoever you is. So, and this will be quite a bit longer though than the Mahomes. I don't remember how tall the Mahomes was. I mean, it was, I think I want to say, you know, if it was 109 wide, it was a little less, I think, tall. This will be 200 and something. 202, 202 rows long, I believe. I know it will have 20,200 rings, so it's 100 wide, so it sounds like 202 sounds good. 202 rows. Oh, now I got more things coming up over here. Stop calling me. I was hoping to actually have another row done in this today before we started the stream, but my daughter called me. I guess it was, it would have been about 3.5 hours ago or so, 4 hours ago. She got a couch and a couple chairs, used ones that she wanted to go get picked up, and it's like, I got to get them today if I'm going to get them, so she took her van, I took our van, we went and got her couch and a couple chairs, loaded them up, got them out to her place. So kind of, it was about an hour and a half, 2 hour job by the time it got done, so took away from the other hour I was planning on getting into this, because I was looking at getting in about, I was hoping to get in about 2.5 hours in it today. Hey John, good to see you. I'd hoped to be done with this 3-in-1 sheet, but here I am making new rings to start. Yeah, but the thing you still came up with was still cool looking. It makes me want to do something like that, because I liked how it turned out afterwards. I like kind of how it had that little curl in it. And seaming it up, it came out really well, I thought. Not exactly what you're looking for, but sometimes you can have happy accidents like that, right? Happy accidents are good accidents. Don't want to have happy accidents and doing an inlay though. Well, I guess if they're happy they would be okay, but normally when you screw up an inlay somewhere, it's like not happy anymore. Other than in this, with this ring size, it'd be easier to fix. Like I said, when I was doing the 3/16 16 gauge inlay, yeah, you make a mess up in that, you either take a lot out, or like I did, I started over. I think I was 10, 12 rows in, and it was like, I'm going to have to take more than half out, actually 3/4 of them out to get back to where I needed to be, and I was like, I'll just start over. So it just sits there and hangs and reminds me. It also shrunk almost a third when seaming it together. Well, yeah, I guess I could kind of see that too. I mean, Most things will a bit. And being half person 3-in-1, I could see it really sucking up there. It's kind of like when I make strips to work on those owls. I normally will end up just making me a long old strip of 4-in-1, seam it up instead of doing the half Persian, then seaming up the half Persian. So, but once I put in the seam up the outside rows into the half Persian, it just like totally shrinks up. But I'm normally making, you know, I'll run down, I know how many rings you need, so I always kind of count down and I put in a silver breaker ring where those are the ones I'll come back in, pull out, and then it's just all done as one piece. It's quicker for me anyway that way. Whenever I do a half Persian for the owls. Plus, I don't have to concentrate so much on making sure I got right and left leaning. It's already all together once you seam up the outside rows there. We'll see. I figure this is going to be several weeks. I'm hoping. I doubt I'll get it done before Turkey Day. I'm hoping I can. I mean, that's not really all that far out. But we'll see how it goes. I haven't figured up a time yet. I got a rough estimates that I can normally get pretty close on how long an inlay will take me, but I haven't really calculated that out for this one yet. Or for the other 3 that I've got fully done and prepared. If they ever get the rings in I need. Whenever that might happen. I know what size I need to make them, so that's what size I've been going with, and haven't really calculated much out after that point. And this is the rings I need for this inlay, so let me order the several $100s worth of rings. I was like unboxing all that stuff last night and getting these out and cleaned up, and I had 19 and 20 colors of 4 different size square rings. Haven't fully got those all out yet, but I don't need them all out as is right now. I still got quite a bit that's open still and ready, but I know I'm going to be going through a bunch of them here soon, so I was like, might as well get them, put them on this order, try to get the best discount I can. Everything's going, yeah. Another double check there. I'm concerned that we'll go out again. It's like, I hated the midnight going outs, but I'd almost rather have the midnight going out than the 8:30 time going out. Now, when I was out, I already have them. I got the brakes ready for the van. I need to replace the back brakes in the van. Hopefully I can get those taken care of here in the next few days. I knew they were getting low and were needing replaced, so I went ahead and got new rotors and all that. We'd done the front ones here about 4 or 5 months ago. And the rear one still had a little bit of time left, but today when I was out driving to go help the daughter, I heard the little slight faint squeaky of, little thing saying, it's time to change us. Yeah, I got everything. I know it was coming. So it was actually about 2 weeks ago I ordered all the parts I needed and had them here. Just hadn't gotten to it yet because October's just so crazy. But I'm going to need to. You can't go driving around with the squeaky brakes all the time. That'll drive me absolutely insane. Cannot stand the squeaky brake. But I'm glad they at least squeaky and let you know. Compared to like the older cars we used to have that didn't let you know till you felt them in the metal on metal grinding. Unless you were good and got them changed beforehand because you were in there and knew they were going to be need replaced. But there's some times where everything's going good and you don't necessarily think about getting in, taking them off, looking at the brake pads all the time. But that was one of the other reasons on changing the rotors, just to we hadn't replaced the back brakes on this in 4 years or so, I think it's been. So it was like, yeah, rotors probably need to be done too. I mean, it probably could have had them turn maybe, but by the time it's said and done around here, it's almost cheaper just to buy new rotors than having them turned down. Older car maybe not so much, but I think I got these rotors for, they were actually fairly cheap. I want to say about 45-50 bucks per rotor. So it was like, I know last time I went and done rotors, and that was years ago, they were like 25 a rotor. So it was like, well, it's probably just going to be cheaper just to get these. And so that's what I did. Make a little more work, I guess, per se, to put them on. And but I mean, even if you take them off to go have them turned, you're still going to have to repack your bearings and all that anyway. So hopefully this weekend maybe, but I got all the band stuff, so that's what's kind of, it's like I got Sunday, a little bit of time maybe on Sunday possible. Hopefully though by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week it'll be done, and then I got another thing on Monday. Which does remind me, our Monday night stream this coming Monday, the 18th, we will not be streaming on that night. We were going to move the stream to Tuesday night, that week only, for now, obviously, but with the band thing going on, I figure it's going to be, I could just cancel it, but it's like, I don't want to necessarily cancel it, so we'll just move it to Tuesday and go from there. But it is another nice day out. I think we got up to like 71 today, so it was kind of nice. Didn't get hot, so it made it easier to do things. And somehow, I will say, I went in and looked at this couch she was getting. I got there early and was looking at the things that she got and going, well, I hope she has an extended van, because that couch was much longer than I was expecting it. She's like, oh yeah, it'll fit in the van, no problem. I was like, I didn't bring a tape measure or anything with me, and I should have taken some rope just in case we had to tie the back end down, but she squeezed up the front seats as far as she could so that she was able to still drive. And we kind of had turned it sideways just a bit, and it snuck in there by just cushion, the cushioning of the armrest, because we kind of squished the armrest up front towards the front seat, and then the back one was squished up against the back, the door of a minivan, and it did fit in there, but it did take a little bit of tweaking. Thought we were going to have to tie it at first, and didn't have anything to tie it. It was like, we'll see. We'll keep working at it. It did fit. It wouldn't have fit in ours, so I think she must have a little bit of extended cab van. We used to have one similar, but it lost an engine once. We replaced that, and my wife rear-ended a cop car. Well, a city, I guess it was detective's car, I guess, coming up on the highway. Real bad section that always has problems, because you're trying to look for traffic coming up a hill to get on the highway, and she ran into the back of them. And that was fun when that happened years ago. So then it was the green bean with the whole front being white from the replacements we put on it. Then the engine died, and, well, we're not exactly sure what happened the second time when the engine would not run very well. We tried getting codes, and nothing we seemed to do worked on it, and it was finally, like, oh, I'm done messing with it. Let's just get another one, a different one. In a way, I'm kind of glad, but I kind of miss having that little extended, especially when I do events. But now we have a trailer, so that's definitely helped. The first couple times we used that van without the trailer, it was like just like Tetrising everything into that thing to get it all to fit. So it's been alright since then, I guess. Now I'm trying to think. I think we've had this van for about 4 or 5 years now. It's actually one of the better vans that we've actually had. We've had 3 or 4 through the years. And the last one was a total pain in the butt to work on. And this one's definitely a little easier to get into the engine compartment. It's still got some things that are in weird ass places, but it's about like any new engine on anything. I mean, this is a 2004, so it's older-ish, but oh, I guess, 16 years. And we're about ready to cross the 200,000 miles on it now. We got it at just over 100. So we don't drive it a ton, so this lasted us a good amount of time so far. So far, so good anyway. I'll say that. Not looking forward to having to get a new one if we do, because our youngest is actually looking at a new car, and used cars prices right now are just insane. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I'm not buying one, she is, but still, it's like just looking at him just makes you go like, really? I mean, yeah, it's been 5-ish years, 4 or 5 years at least since we bought ours and went looking, but man, they're just outrageous priced right now. About like housing prices right now. Makes me almost want to sell, but it's like, I don't want to have to go through all that again and extend the mortgage out more. Let's just get this stupid thing paid off and be done. That's where I'm dying. Quick check around. Looks like we got about 4 viewers between everything. So it's good to have y'all here again, like I said. If you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch, you can find us over on Facebook, and vice versa. If you're on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube and Twitch too. But don't forget to give us out those shares, likes, happy faces, thumbs ups, whatever. Every little bit helps get us out there a little more. We'll get on people that follow us. Will show up more in their walls when I get the more, wows, happy faces, hearts, thumbs ups, whatever. More likely to pop up in their wall of stuff on Facebook to remind them that I'm here. So I always like to get those. You don't have to, though. You can give them to us afterwards on a stream too. You don't have to do it live. Share out the streams, share out the Facebook page, whatever it might be. Try to get us a good little crew going here. This next Wednesday we're going to be doing a small giveaway. I think I want to have at least 4 people in here to do the giveaway this time, though. And I want to kind of have, say I need rules to it, but, yeah, John, I know I'm glad to have you here all the time and stuff, but if you're the only one that shows up, you'll win every month. So I want to try to get a few more people in so we can actually do a drawing style thing, We got to do it once last time. When we did the 3 giveaways, we did have 1 drawing. And then the next 2 times was just the people that hadn't won, so it was a single. Then another person came in a little bit later, so they were the only one that hadn't won, so they won that one, which was all good. I'm not complaining, but I'd like to see more people get in here. And if you're into chainmail and stuff and you're watching this later, check out Mailworks. MAILLEWERX. I always misspell it. But Mailworks, he's got the chainmail themed apparel. Got some cool stuff. I know Bracken Mail, check them out too. They haven't been doing as many streams lately, but he's still got cool stuff and does all kinds of neat anodizing over there. I mean, I do my own, so I don't need my anodizing from him, but he's still a good guy. Steampunk Garage is another good one. Jennifer over there. Then there's some others that, Griffin Mail. There's a lot of others that are on Etsy and stuff, and that do some cool stuff. They don't necessarily do streaming, but they got neat stuff, if you're into chainmail. Well, flip back over there, Ring. We're almost done with this row. One row down. I guess it'll be like row 4 done. And the only rings I didn't get cleaned was my red ones. They're in my pile there still over here, but I still need to give them a cleaning. I got the other 2 clean. They were taking up most of my desk today, and I was like, well, I need to have my area here open so I can get them all dried off. And so it's like, well, I'll wait till after the stream tonight to wash up my red ones. So we'll get those taken up tonight. Ready to go. I don't need them for a little while though. I don't think I hit into any reds till I'm about on looks like row 30-ish or so, so got a little while to go before I'm going to actually need them. That was one of the other reasons too. Alright, so my little green and white snake is coming together here. There's row 4 done. Be a quick drink here. Where are we at? 26 minutes. Cool. Still running a little bit ahead of time. That took us, that was probably about 20 minutes of actual work. Oh, my phone is going off. Am I going to have to go check the message? It'll keep beeping at me every 3 or 4 minutes if I don't. Do I want to have that keep going? No. Yeah, smartphones are cool, but I swear sometimes I really hate those things. They can drive me bonkers. One, with just the amount of space apps take up, and yeah, you can add memory cards and help with that, but you know, for the pictures and stuff, but I really don't take a whole lot of pictures with my phone either. And it doesn't have, it's not the greatest picture taker. I mean, it can do okay in certain situations, but been so used for so many years, so long doing, you know, using my bigger Canon. I've gone through the T2, T3, T6. Kind of stick with the bigger ones to do that. Video I really hate doing on a phone because it gets, I've done a few things here and there. I have actually been live streaming the last few band of things that I've been doing, just to, one, to see if it'd work, and then I could post it to the alumni stuff and just stream to it. So I have done that, but it's still, every once in a while, the autofocus I haven't figured out how to turn off during a stream on that yet. So it kind of goes zoom every once in a while I'm streaming with it. So it drives me a little bonkers, but and if it wasn't for having to have Square to do events, I probably still would have my old flip phone. I miss my old flip phone. It did what I needed to do, call. Now these new ones have all these newfangled things, and I mean, I guess got the security system hooked up to it and all that, but I'm out of room. I really can't put any more apps on it, and I don't have that many on it to begin with. I mean, I guess when I do count them out, there are some, but even though it's a 32 gigabyte internal, no, I guess it's 16. The wife's new one has 32, that's right. Mine's a 16. Her old one was an 8. So she got a major upgrade to hers. And I almost wanted to get the same phone myself, but the screen was actually a little bit smaller, and if anything, I would want something just a little bit bigger to help with the drone. The only reason I hadn't really done anything with mine yet. And as long as I don't need any more apps, should do me for a little bit longer anyway. We'll see. We just keep on weaving away. I probably could do a double row at a time with this because there's not a lot of color changing here at first. And I thought about it, but I'm like, I'm more bound to wind up screwing something up doing that. I'll forget to close a ring when you put on a raw ring. I'm getting better and better, but and then once this gets more sturdy as I get taller and it won't wiggle around like this as much, it's just easier to go single ring at a time at that point. And once, like I said, once I do start mixing into some other colors, even though there's only the 3, it's just easier to keep everything under control and less screw up. So that's what we're going to do. But it still comes along pretty quickly. I mean, we should get 2-3 rows done during the stream tonight, easy, probably. And we've already gotten 1 done. This is into number 2, so. Yeah, I'd like to try to get an average of 600 rings into it a night would be nice. Oh, that phone. Alright, I'm going to have to go turn that thing off so it stops dinging at me. I normally like having the little dinger because I don't carry the phone around with me. And if I got something making loud noises, I won't hear it anyway when a call happens or a message. So I like the reminder, but I also hate it whenever I don't want it on. So, I'll just bring it along with me in case. Because I don't know if I've got enough buttons pushed on it to shut it up for the night or not. Oh, it takes me a while to figure them out because, like I said, I don't mess with it all that much. You know, a lot of the grandparents will contact me on it a lot, and I'm like, well, if you need something importantly done, it's going to be best just to call, and if I don't hear it, I'll call you right back. But text-wise, you know, I'm better with Facebook letting me know messages. And again, I was just complaining about it letting me know during the stream, so I hate it all, but I have to use it. And I guess it kind of come in handy today with the daughter calling, wanting to help with that, other than having to prepare to go out for and doing all that. And, well, it didn't look like it was anything super important from the family anyway upstairs. I know the daughter's not feeling well. She's been feeling kind of cruddy for the last couple weeks. She's had several tests done that we know it's not the COVID and some other things, but she's still having issues. Hopefully they'll get straightened up here soon enough. Finally got some meds today, I think it was today. Yeah, today. My days have gotten all clogged and mixed. So I did kind of want to check just to make sure, but I'm sure somebody would have come down and yelled at me if I was needed for that. How many rows of this am I going to have? 3 more of the white rose. Or frost. I call it white, but it is frost. It's not quite white. But it does look white kind of when you compare it to the other. It's a matte frost. You know, when I was making this order, I was in there, and I hadn't ordered any frost in a little while. Last time I ordered it, it was with the normal rings, and now that they have their whole selection of matte rings, I wasn't looking under that at first. I was looking through my normal shiny rings section, and I was like, what, they don't carry frost anymore? And it took me a good 5 minutes before I realized I needed to scroll down to the next section where the matte was, and there it was, frost. I knew it was matte, but it had always been in the other section before. And I thought, how am I going to do anything that I would normally do? I use quite a bit of frost, since it mimics white. Some people use silver for it, but I like my... Another pop up there. I like to use my frost for my white. because if I milk silver, especially with like a white rubber ring, you can tell a bigger difference than I can with the frost. So that's just always kept me more into the frost side of them. But I guess the next thing is to get all the matte colors in all the different sizes, because I kind of like some of them. I think they would go well together with some shiny ones sometimes, but other times it'd be neat just to have kind of a matte finish bracelet, you know, in a way. I've done them before when I first started buying aluminum rings 9-ish years ago now. And I just didn't dig them, but I also they were machine cut, so it was like I did not like the machine cut, and I think that's what turned me off, because then the next time I got some shiny saw cut ones, and I was like, ooh, I like these. And so I never bought any more machine cut versions, and I think the matte kind of had me that way. Enjoy your night. Done seaming the 8-inch. I started with, and not going to add 4-inch. Just going to finish it tonight. I haven't, well, have you tried tumbling stainless to a matte finish? Yes, but not on purpose. I will say that. I was trying some different things when I was first starting to kind of do some tumbling when I got my tumbler, and I don't exactly remember what I did at the time. I think it was something else that I put in it, because I didn't just put like Dawn or anything in there with it. Then I left it in way too long. I actually yeah, I put it in there. I set a timer to go back over in an hour to check it, and the timer went off, and I was like, okay, I'll get it here in a minute, because I was busy. And it was actually 5 days later before I went back over to it. And it came out, still looked good, but yeah, it was definitely darker and a little mattier. A lot mattier, I should say. I wasn't expecting it when I opened it up. I was like, well, 5 days should be nice and fun, but yeah. Baking soda will give it a nice sea glass like matte finish. And it wasn't baking soda that I put in there. I know I was kind of experimenting with different things, because I found different cleaners work better on different materials through the years. But yeah, I don't remember what I put in there right off the bat. But it definitely, after 5 days in there with it matted up on me. I was going to try to rerun them through and try to shine them back up, but I was like, you know what, they're still not bad looking. So I made a bunch of key rings out of them, and, you know, they sold, so can't really complain. I thought for sure they were going to be toast there for a while, and that was actually something that I had bought before I got my Ringinator. Once I got the Ringinator, and now I'll just make up my own stainless. But you're used to that. You always make up your own rings, John. I wish I could do the anodized aluminum. Then I wouldn't really have to buy rings anymore. It'd just be a matter of finding the better and better deals on wire, which I'm constantly looking for. I don't know, but I still got quite a bit of my 1.6 millimeter stainless wire, so I don't need it. But I went to price out some of the 1.2 millimeter, and boy, it went up like $50 for the 26-pound rolls that I normally get. So I'm starting to look around again for somewhere else to get that. Found a decent deal on the 22 gauge stainless that I just got, but I only got, I think each roll was it two? No, I think they were 3-pounder rolls that I got. I only got like 6 of them, but you know, that'll last me a while, because I don't do a ton of that work. But then try baking soda, as that starting medium for rock tumblers. I'm kind of, no, I don't know if I ever did use that. I thought maybe I put that, I don't know, when I got my because I got a rolling tumbler and then a vibrating tumbler at the same time, and I had bought some of their different, well, they had some ceramics, some powdery stuff that I guess works for rocks and whatnot, because I mean they are rock tumblers per se. I almost want to say I used some of that powdery stuff, but I just don't remember. I'd probably be able to find out if I went over there looking for the powdery stuff and it's not there or had been opened. And I still haven't used any of the ceramic stuff that I bought. Oh, actually, I think I gave that away. Somebody was tumbling their shell casings and was saying something about it, and I just was like, I'm probably never going to use this ceramic mix stuff, so. 0.7 millimeter. I have a lot of 0.7 millimeter 308 stainless for years. Yeah. I've seen your big old palette there that you sent a picture of that one time. It was like, kind of drooled in a way. It's like, man, that would be so much fun. I mean, I've got a ton of stuff here. If you really were to count it out, I don't even really know. I mean, I could kind of average up and figure it out, but I've probably got 500,000 rings that are unused right now. Between, that's probably mostly all aluminum, anodized aluminum. I've got several, probably another 20-ish pounds of my own bright aluminum, and then that's coiled and cut already. And then I can do many more pounds with the wire, but stainless though, I mean, I got some. I still need to go coiling up some more sizes. Since I stopped buying it, I've kind of only stuck to a few different sizes that I had at the time that I bought, and that's what I ended up coiling and cutting myself, just the same size I had, because that's what I've been working with. But that's why I got the 22 gauge. I was like, I wanted to get some smaller stainless and do some smaller work, and more so in the stainless just because it's a little stiffer than, aluminum in that same size. So once you start getting too small, aluminum gets a little too fragile for my liking. We can still work in some aspects, but stainless will just hold up better in the long run. So, because that, I don't really like working too much in my 20 gauge aluminum. Just especially once you get up over an 1/8 inch, it just starts getting too thin and all that. I mean, I do use the the 5/32 20 gauge aluminum. That's what I do my little cross hearts out of. They work well for that. Earrings, anyway, let me say that. Because they are earrings, I will use more of the 20 gauge aluminum for earrings, just because, they're expected to be a little more dainty and lighter and all that. But bracelet wise, once I get 20, I'd rather use stainless for that. Or niobium or titanium. Well, titanium's probably better than niobium for that, but niobium's still not too bad. I had some soft niobium though, so. But I have, I dig doing the bronze, the brass, the stainless steel. I'd like to do more of it. If I sold more of it, I could do more of it. Maybe I just need to do more of it so I can sell more of it. I don't know. It's one of those things. Which way do you go? Because I'd love to do more, but then, I'll have it. I've got some of those that I've had for years now. They're a little more pricey than the other stuff, and that's probably why. But on occasion, though, you do have the people that know. People that have actually done chainmail and stuff. When they come into the booth, they realize a little more of the value of your stuff. Or if you can go to a Renaissance festival or something like that, they're a little more. Sometimes when I go to some of these other craft fairs, it's sometimes their first time seeing chainmail, so it's like they don't understand it, and that's why I do try to work on chainmail in the booth, so they kind of get to see that, yeah, you're sitting here for a while, opening and closing all these rings. And if it's a more expensive piece of stainless or titanium and you're welding it up, that just even adds more time to it. So because it's definitely whatever you can do out of aluminum. You do the same thing out of stainless and weld it, you're looking at least 2 times, if not 3 times as long to finish that same piece, at least for me. Now, the more I do of the welding, maybe I'll get a little quicker. You know, just even after I do a little bit of a wallet chain when I'm welding it up, you know, by the time I get to the end, I'm getting a little faster than I was when I first started it, but it's still a little more of a lengthy process to do it. And then add in tumbling time and all that. I mean, I don't charge for tumbling time per se, but to get them cleaned up. And there have been a few pieces where tumble just didn't quite do it, so I'll pull out the Dremel and use the little polishing thing on it to clean up some of the welds if I didn't like what the tumbler did with the welds. So that adds a little more time to it also, but I like to make sure everything looks good, best I can anyway. Quick check over, nope, no posts. At least phone didn't beep at me again. I must have pushed the right button. And actually this piece, when it is done, will get a brother, because it's this, I've only got enough right now for rings for the one, but it'll actually be 2 that are built the basic, well, yeah, I guess they will be the exact same way now that I think about it. Well, actually I'll have to go look at my graphic again. Gotta see if I can just make the same one and flip it. I'll have to check that out the more I think about it. So we might have to do just a minor edit to it, but basically when it is done, there'll be 2 pieces that look alike. So I'll have 40,000 rings in just these 2 pieces, and then each of the other inlays will be at least 10. I'm looking at about 120 to 140,000 rings in this whole piece once I'm completely done with it. Should not double the time, maybe a third more for me to weld it as I weave. Yeah, well, that probably could be part of it, because a lot of times I'll weave it and then just come back and weld it later. Feels like it's quicker, but I'm probably a little slower on the welding side than you, because you've probably done a lot more than me. I've had my welder for a while, but again, I don't do a ton of welding on it. Price, I can agree, multiplying, but I don't feel welding is the same time as weaving another whole ring. And I can kind of see that too. But it is good just that everybody's a little different on what they do. You know, some people can weave certain rings and weaves quicker than I can. There's other weaves that I weave quicker than them on. So everything's kind of relative to what you do. And the welding, you know, it definitely slows down my time. That's why a lot of times I don't do it as I weave. But it will depend on the weave. If it's a weave I need to weld while I'm weaving it, you know, I will. Because there are weaves that you have to do that too. But other weaves I can just kind of build it all then. And at the time, that was when I'd have to always pull out the welder instead of just having it kind of readily available. So that helps. I'm seeing, or lack of seeing, many folks that actually do weld any other pieces, so that has me thinking that it's a good niche market. Yeah, oh yeah, I know there's a lot that don't. I've seen those out there, and I mean, like I said before, sometimes you don't have to. It all will depend on the size rings you're using, the thickness of the wire, etc. You know, you don't necessarily need to weld up, you know, 14 gauge, you know, 1/4 inch rings. They're going to be pretty sturdy on their own, especially if you're using some hard stainless. But on the other hand, you know, some people would rather have it. I had one guy, this was probably about 3 years ago, he come in with a piece that he had gotten from another mailer. It was Byzantine. I want to say it was 12 gauge with the smallest rings you could go to make Byzantine work, and it was all welded up, and it was a nice piece. He was like, I could have got it without the welds, but I wanted them welded up, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure it would have held together without that, but he goes, now it ain't going nowhere. And I was like, no, you break anything on that thing, boy. It was nice. He had a necklace and a bracelet combo. It was really nice. Forget who it was that made it up for him, but they were more into, they done chainmail, but they were more into leather and bike stuff, because it was a biker, you know. Oh, you mean, no, we don't need to, but many in the jewelry side won't believe that, and it's easier on the wallet to justify the cost of welding versus not. Yeah. Well, you know, there's always some people that'll come and ask, can we do it a little cheaper? I like those memes and things out there. It shows a half of a horse. It's all beautifully drawn. Can you make it cheaper? And it's like a stick horse on the other side. Sometimes I feel like just having that printed out and just say, okay, which one do you want? You want the pretty horse, or do you want the stick horse? Well, you know, I'll try to give them as much information as I can, and they can do what they want to do with it. And if they get it, great. If not, you know. It's like I had people looking at the inlays that I have, and they like them, but the price, they're like, and I'm like, well, can you do it cheaper? It's like, no. What would you want to be paid from your normal job working, you know, well, in the Mahomes case, 45 hours? You know, put that much time into it, you definitely need to be compensated for it. So now to the greens. I'll get the 300. Okay, is it welded? No, but it's Argentinian. You know that word. Silver. I made all the rings from. It's not welded, so it's not worth that. Yeah. Yeah, most of my silver I want to always weld up anymore, just because it's part of the price. It's just too soft for me. No more. Really any size. The first couple things I did for the wife, I was actually using 16 gauge. Well, it was fine silver, so it was a little softer than sterling. And I'm not sure what the hardness is of argentium compared to fine, but it's like, yeah, I'm just going to always weld that up anymore. I had too many repairs I had to do on hers when I was testing them, so it was like, I just weld that all up no matter what anymore. Though I still want to get me some of the argentium. I still haven't really worked with it. I've done the sterling, I've done the fine. Now, I really love the look of fine silver. It is so super bright compared to the sterling. Now, maybe the argentium can be a little bit better. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet. I know I've been wanting to, but I've had all the fine silver that I've still had here that I wanted to use up beforehand. And the price of silver has actually gone up so much, too. It's been crazy priced. Over 10 years of hearing that sales, I have had walk off or talk themselves out of the sale because I lack of welding, soldering. Finally got that hurdle conquered. Yeah. Well, and you know, that's what I always tell them. It's like, I can do it for you. We'll just do a custom order, and I've done that many times too. You want this welded? I can make you up a new one, a new piece, and we'll weld it up. And this is what the price will be, and they'll take it or not. I resettle back down. It takes it a minute or two. Then your computer wants to reconnect. That's another minute or two. And then to get the software to reconnect, that hasn't really done any reconnecting on its own, even though it says it does. Because right now, actually, my program is telling me YouTube and Twitch are getting 30 frames per second, but I'm having no movement on my YouTube video, and my Twitch video is just gone. It says I'm not streaming, even though I've got points that say I am. And my stream says reconnecting to the Facebook side, so I'm watching it and it's just still spinning. It should resume shortly, but it won't unless I totally restart the stream and make sure the key. So I didn't have that problem before when the key would go would continue in and it would just kind of restart back up. With the way they now set up the stream keys, it doesn't want to do that. It drives me absolutely bonkers. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I guess if you're, well, now I've seen a Twitch stream back up. My session has started back up on Twitch. I don't know. Why must you do this to me? If the Facebook would kick right back in, that would be nice, but this is the 3rd day this week. I didn't notice it Tuesday, but I wasn't necessarily online streaming Tuesday, so if it had a quick hiccup and didn't notice it, or I wasn't even on the computer at the time, I wouldn't have noticed. So the only time I'm really noticed is when I'm streaming, but this is like, well, for sure the 3rd stream this week that it's done it to. I'm trying to remember if it happened last week too. I want to say it did once or twice, or had minor glitches. Well, now YouTube's saying no data, and my thing's back down to 0. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this done, call it done, stop the video at least from streaming and all that, and I'll continue to do just my recording of it, because all that's still going perfectly fine. Running my 2500 kilobits, no issues with my internal recording. It's just the sending out recording is screwed up. Well, now YouTube's back again. So if you are watching us on YouTube, you're probably the only group seeing us right now in good shape. So at least I guess if I decide to re-upload this video, YouTube side I won't have to. Twitch you really can't upload video to. It's got to be live streamed for Twitch to keep it. Is Twitch still going? Like I said, I'm not quite sure. So we'll go ahead and close it up. I'll do a real quick thank you again. Sorry for the problems. If you are watching and had problem watching us, if you're on YouTube, you might have had a lesser of a glitch, let's say. But we'll go ahead and close up tonight, and I'll get some work done over the weekend, and I'm about ready to just jump on changing over to Google's fiber's internet. I don't want to, but I think it might be best for everything, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I do thank anybody that's joined us tonight. Sorry for the issues this week. Hopefully that will go away here real soon. But we will be back on Tuesday night. We won't be streaming Monday, so we'll be back on Tuesday of next week. After that, you might see a few Saturdays here and there, and maybe even some Fridays. Who knows? Depends on when I want to sit down and work on this and get some work done on it. We could do extra streams on the large project night. But anyway, y'all have a good evening, and we'll see you back on Tuesday. And sorry once again for all the